Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Andrew Snort with Creative Community Solutions. And as you're aware, when we do our different coverage, we're fortunate to cover things from arts and entertainment, sports, government and politics, community, and more. And every once in a while, we get the opportunity to sit down and talk with some of the good people that are doing good things in their respective fields. So as a reminder, you can connect with me on the web at asnortonccs.com. Make sure to connect with me on Facebook at Creative Community Solutions. Likewise, Creative Community Solutions on YouTube, as well as Ace Norton CCS on Instagram and Twitter. And I'm so excited to have our guest who has a great energy, great synergy, great passion, purpose. So we're going to allow you to introduce yourself.
Good morning, all. My name is Darwin Pompey, President and CEO of Sayvya Entertainment Group, operating as well as the president of Sayvya Records, and excited about being here and speaking with this gentleman who's a trailblazer here that's providing a service and something that we all definitely need, and providing information that is truly pertinent to our growth. So.
Well, I tell you what, I, for one, sincerely thank you for the warm welcome, and thank you for taking time out of your schedule. And before we get into your current project, could you give us a little bit of a point of reference where you're based out of, and what were a few of your moving parts before pivoting in the direction you're going in?
Actually, we're based out of Atlanta, Georgia. Basically, I've been doing music for quite a while. Prior to really getting heavily into the projects that we are working on now, I worked in healthcare. I was a manager for a major healthcare system where I managed various trainings of providers, physicians, surgeons, clinicians, et cetera, across the board. But my passion has always been the music industry. And for years, since I was about 5, 6, 7 years old, I have been involved, but life trials and tribulations and the paths that it take us down, causes us oftentimes to veer off to do different things. But where we are now is, or I, as being the visionary for the record label, is taking it to a place where we fully believe that we are delivering a clear message, and that message is peace and knowing of thyself and being honest with thyself. So there are several projects that we've worked on prior to, some R&B back in the day, worked with the face doing different things, backup vocals, ghostwriter. And now this is that time right now to really get involved and to roll out the projects that we are passionate and truly desiring to do and to share with you all.
And I'm glad you said that, because people always have ideas, but they're sometimes, quote, afraid to pursue them. And just to remind folks, quote, what was that moment of clarity which lets you know this is where I need to be?
The moment of clarity for me was an awakening. I had lost myself, and I was in a place where I knew that something greater was calling me. I knew that God himself was calling me, and that I had been running for years, and decided that I didn't want to do music, and till that moment in time happened where he spoke to me, and it was beyond speaking to me. It was really grabbing my attention and knocking me down and saying, this is what you are going to do. And the passion was there, but my focus was really I was on a money hunt as opposed to spiritual peace and true deliverance and self-awareness and, the fulfillment of what truly was in my heart. I was just really driven by all of those things that fall in the category of vanity. And so of reaching that point, that place in time where I just needed to find that peace. And so when he captured and got my attention, he brought me to that place and said, it's time. It's time for you to do. My brother mentioned to me, my younger brother mentioned to me one day, he says, you're the greatest artist I've ever heard that no one else will hear. You write some of the best songs that no one else gets to hear. And you write for yourself. You produce, you do it all, but no one hears them. At what point in time will you share this with the world? And when he said that to me, it just really hit me in my heart. It was right on point, along and aligned with everything else that I was hearing in my heart, in my mind, in my soul.
And I'm glad you said that, because a lot of what you shared, it reminds me of a favorite read of mine, As a Man Thinketh. And what you just summarized in regards to your journey is letting people know and understand, regardless of what we're doing, with what you're doing music wise or what have you, it all starts with what's going on in here, how it translates here, and how it translates, how all things are in alignment. So I'm so glad that when you're recalling and retelling your journey, it's like, look, really one of the most important things is what's going on between your left and right ear. And that's something, regardless of what we talk about, is something that people can definitely take away from that, which is a great point to pivot. You've done some great work, but I know every creative, you're always excited about the next piece. So walk through with us the project that's on the horizon.
Well, the project that we're working on right now, we still have a short film working with several great professionals out there. Anthony Mobley being one of them, and we're Anthony Page being a director as well. Certainly, we're finalizing a three-part short film that's going to be coming out, featuring our single, which is "You," that came out several months ago, and we're wrapping that up along with the next project, which is coming out, which is a very touching song dear to my heart, and it's entitled "I Need You." We're in production with that now, finalizing the song, and we'll be very shortly going into the video production of that. We're truly excited about everything that we're doing with it, and look forward to having it out the end of March.
Wow. So basically, about a month from now, people need to clear out space on their smartphones, their tablets, and what have you. Describe to me a little bit. Every creative quote has their own process, and sometimes the process varies from project to project. What would you say with this current piece? What were some things about this current piece that reminded you about previous projects? But then the second part is, what is it about this that quote gave you that creative challenge and that creative push?
Well, the creative challenge itself stemmed from the fact that it was basically a telling of my life, and seeing and understanding, especially from the perspective of a man, a black man, and seeing and understanding the challenges, and whether it be relationships, whether it be finances, or knowing self-awareness of who you are, and so this particular project in itself, the current project, was one that I had been walking around with challenges, just again, things that go on in the mind of a man, and whether or not I was man enough, whether or not I was a good father, or whether I was successful, or whatever it was. And I felt that the story needed to be told. And so the motivation behind it was simply all of that drove the project. And so other projects that were similar to it, that simply brought to mind on how this could be successful, and how delivering messages, are just projects of when I was younger, and I worked on those with family, my mom and others, and used to be singers, and how they would always, every song, every melody basically told a story. I come from a family that they are absolutely some of the most amazing people that I've ever come across. And I'm not saying it because they're my family. I'm saying it because it's reality, and you would have to see and really hear some of the things that they have put out there. But the challenging thing about it is that I was pretty much trapped in the same place that, as my brother shared with me, I was not doing anything with it, but building upon writing and producing, and not sharing it with the world. So I knew that it was time to get to this place in space and take it from there and really move to the next level. And so telling that story is what the motivation truly is for me.
And you shared a lot right there, because we forget the importance of the element of storytelling within music, and it's capturing whatever that particular moment. Just like there's storytelling in photography, there's storytelling in filmmaking, there's storytelling in writing a book or recording an audio book. And you just reminded us the importance and really magnitude of storytelling that goes on within music. You provided some really good themes and concepts in regards to the whole creative process, the project, the song. what are some takeaways, in addition to what you already shared, what are some takeaways that when the listener listens or when they see the visual that will go with the song, what are some of the takeaways that you want people to have?
Be true to thyself. That's going to be the main, a lot of times we get caught up in careers, relationships, whatever they may be, and we're really not in it. We're just there for all reasons except for truly being there passionately and being there 100%. The takeaways that I truly desire for this is that you're true with yourself and you allow and you open your heart and your mind to hear what the true person is really saying, as opposed to what I will say, the superficial or that is driven by vanity or anything else. Allow what needs to be heard to be heard. Listen to the voice that's inside and stop listening to the voices that are outside that may be influencing you to live a life or to do things that you know that are not of you.
Wow. Again, what's so amazing about this conversation is like, yes, we're talking about the project, but you're dropping like some real life nuggets for people. And especially when you talked about previously your journey, how you got here, the importance of, your mind, body, soul, and spirit. Gosh, almost like you gave a sermon.
Hey, we do what we do.
but no, but this is what is great about, just for lack of a term, peeling back the layers, because even this track, even this production is still it's part also self-reflection, and it's part taking self-inventory and a reminder of pause for a moment and take everything in and then keep going, because there's still more of this that is still in you. Like, do you see yourself kind of doing that? Like, you'll do the project, it'll be complete, you see the takeaways, you're capturing, the essence of the moment, and then do you get the continued energy to keep going because there's more of this in you?
Yeah, and I do. But I would say that I see it as being one of a message that is not a message that's coming from me, that, and whether I see it or not, it is a fact that the message is coming from God, the Almighty. And because it's not about me at all, it's about self-awareness. It's about all of us coming to the truth and the realities of who and what we are. I mean, if you just pause for a moment and look at society, look at the world, Instagram, everything, social media is driving so much where you just don't know what's real out there anymore. It's so many facades out there, but the thing about it is that, I actually have experienced in my own life where I painted this huge picture and that it looked so glamorous, it looked so this, but once I left the screen, I was just this broken person. It's like a puzzle that you just taken the puzzle and you just broke into pieces, and now you're trying to figure out what's what. And the only way that you can get it back together is you have to go back to who you really are. And I would have to say that, what's most important about this is that will continue to be the message, the nuggets that are shared with people, simply because we have to be true to ourselves. Be true to thyself. And that's the message.
Well, I tell you what,
that truth simply stems from God. There's no other way. And however you see, face, and what you may hear, go through, you have to be true with yourself and listen to the eternal voice, the voices that are inside from there.
and I tell you what, you have shared great perspective, insight, and just making sure, like you said, when it's all said and done, this is what it is. and that in and of itself is so powerful and so needed. So what we want to do is this: remind people the name of the song, the name of the project, the release dates. Let's start there. So the name of the song, related project, and the scheduled release.
Well, the current song that is out playing right now is entitled You. It's on the Sayvya Records, and the artist is Moyani. The short films will come out as well. They should be coming out within the next few weeks. The new release, the new track, which is coming out, is entitled "I Need You." That full production should be completed by the end of March. That is our hope, to have everything completed according to our schedule. And it's all under Sayvya Records. You can find us on Instagram, Sayvya Records. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and you can find us on our website, which is www.sayvya.com, Sayvya. So we're really excited about it. We're really excited about the message that we'll be sharing, and the open and honest candidness of it all, and hoping that you will be able to take something away from this and allows you to be a better person. We all have room for improvement daily, so that's what we're looking forward to, and those are songs and tracks that are coming forward, and excited about it. Look forward to sharing this information with you.
Well, I tell you what, I thank you so much for taking time and not only just sharing the creative work you're doing, but it's bigger than just the work. So I'm so grateful for you to make sure to mention that. And as a reminder, this entire interview will be available on our YouTube channel. So that'll be Creative Community Solutions. And when we release the article, we'll have the written piece, and we'll also have this embedded. So that way, for people who are readers, you can read the recap. For people who are viewers, you can watch the entire thing. And again, you can always come back to it by pulling it on YouTube. So as we get ready to draw us to a close, we want to thank our guests. We thank everybody that takes time to pause, talk with us, share, exchange, and hopefully what you heard today, that you are motivated, encouraged. And if this is the first time that you've connected, please don't let it be the last, and what have you. We all got to start somewhere, but we're not finished yet. So on that note, we want to say thank you to our guests. Thank you to previous folks who have been on to take time to talk with us. Again, the written recap will be available on acenortonccs.com/blog, or if you go on the main website, Ace Norton CCS, you can click on articles and coverage, and it'll be the very first article that will pop up. So until next time, all of you take very good care. We look forward to seeing you real soon.